Evening guys. Firstly, apologies for not uploading any content recently. I've been quite busy with work, personal life and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys can hear me. So I thought I'd just do a little update on my allotment and what I've been up to and stuff like that. I have recorded lots of film footage, various scenes, but because of the time, I haven't had much time to actually edit them. So what I was thinking of doing is maybe just making videos which require less editing so that I can pump videos out, and we can work on trying to see what I can actually do to make sure the quality doesn't decrease. But that being said, I haven't even bought my microphone with me today. I had no intentions really of filming, just from the off bat, but I thought at the end of the day it's better to get something out than get nothing out at all. So what I'm going to do after this is give you a little tour of the allotment. Instead of saying what I've actually been filming and stuff like that I've been doing, I thought I'd actually just give you guys a tour to see what I've actually been up to and stuff. At the moment we're in a little meditation garden area, a little area that I'm sort of trying to build up. It's quite secluded from the rest of the allotment. This is the place where I can actually come and just relax. I do get time to relax, or just, you know, try and get away with the thoughts of, you know, all the things I have to do. Because that's the thing that I've learned personally, is that there's always something to do. And it got to the actual point where I wasn't actually taking the time to just relax and just take heed of what I've actually done and achieved, you know, tasted those strawberries or whatnot. Because I was thinking, oh, I've got to do this, got to do that, and got to do this, you know. So this is a little part of the garden where if I ever think like that, which I probably will end up doing once I give you the tour, just to come here and just those thoughts are out of the window, as it be, because it can be quite depressing when you put a lot of work in and you get set back a little bit. But that's life in general, I think. Even saying this to you guys now actually makes it feel much more better doing that. But what I'm literally going to do is literally just take the camera from bucket which is resting on, because I don't have the actual correct mount for my tripod, and I'm going to give you guys a little walk around what I've been up to. So let's go. Right, so this is the little meditation garden area or whatnot that I've been building. I've been working on building it. That'll be done tomorrow. We've got a little garden here. Now this is the only place in the allotment that is really sheltered, where I can actually grow things like bay and stuff like that which require shelter. Here we've got a kiwi plant which I planted about an hour ago. I'm just about to sneeze, so I apologise. No, it's gone. Alright, so we've got a kiwi plant here, and we've got a tea plant which I've also planted. All this bed is literally done within an hour ago. I've forgotten what this plant is. I know it's gone out of my head, but it will come to me. But it's a lovely yellowy shrub. And this one, this is literally a little focal point plant again. What do you call a cordyline? So this one I got because I looked in some people's gardens. These can grow quite tall, and when they were flowering, they attracted quite a lot of honeybees. So I thought, okay, that might be worth getting. And we've got a bay in the back here, some fuchsias here, some bamboo here. So the fuchsias, these ones you can eat the berries. The bamboo, the shoots you can eat. You've got to cook them properly though. Different bamboos have different requirements, so that's something to research on. I've got another little focal plant, a nice maple here. And we've got some, I think these are blackthorn or buckthorn, or they're the slow berry. So these are, they're originally going to go into the wildlife native hedgerow, but I was pointed out by someone on Facebook that they spread via rhizomes, so they're in buckets at the moment. Speaking of spreading, here is horseradish, and this is also in a bucket as well. And we've got a Chinese artichoke here, which is related to mint. We've got some laurel. This will be forming the wall in the kitchen area. So let's get out of here. Oh, there's always a bug that flies in your tea. Rest in peace. Alright, this is a little cuttings area. go around. This is where some of the work, like potting up, dividing. This is Yacon that needs to be divided up. Here we've got rosemary, we've got oregano here. This is the mushroom area, which will eventually get going sometime when we get around to it. And we've got some sunflowers here, some more Yacon. These are young buddleia seedlings that I pulled from my auntie's patio. Potted them up to use them as part of the hedgerow, because as you'll see there are a lot of neglected plots here, and the seeds just get blown in. It's so disheartening. But some of them are good, they're taking, some not too much, but we'll keep the faith and hopefully it'll pull through. And the back here we've got some tobacco, and down here we've got some tobacco as well, with some runner beans that need to be planted out. What was interesting, one of the things I noticed when I actually planted out the runner beans that I grew in the greenhouse, they all got eaten by the slugs, but the ones I grew from seed didn't get touched. So that's very interesting. Sparked off my curiosity. Some forsythia here at the back. That's also cuttings as well, for the wild hedgerow. So this is the little bar. This back here is a little secret area, really, of the allotment. And coming through, got our composters. That'll be the bee area once I decide to get the bees. I might get it all set up, because the hedgerow and stuff like that, they're going to be really good for the bees. So I'm not sure if you guys have seen this area. This has been literally renovated a lot. Made raised beds using tree trunks around. I can't remember the names of these plants. I think there's a fatsia here as well. This, I think it begins with an L. This is really good flower for the bees. We've got a clematis here. Nice climber. I want to get trained up and then go along this bee area. It's got to be fortified. This is the pond area. Needs to be weeded. We've got some geraniums here in the pond. You can see the lilies there, and I just heard something move as I approached. You can see just down there is a lily head that has closed. So we've got some irises here that are finished flowering. To the kitchen area, these red currants haven't even started to grow yet. They might actually be dead, which is quite disappointing, because I literally planted them quite quickly after I got them. But one of them is growing just here. Again, this is for the bees. I've got a lovely canna here, a nice specimen plant, some lavender as well, some wild cherries here. The kitchen area, this is the pizza oven area. Eventually get there, there's a little gap, and I've got to finish making this, but on top of there's a mound where herbs and stuff like that will be grown. And as you can see, the bindweed is one of the things I've had issues with. Growing along this sage, which is spread out quite a lot. It's loving this place here, more so than I thought it would be. Sage, then we've got lavender again, lavender. We've got rosemary amongst it here, more bindweed. Then we've got creeping thyme around here, so a lot of weeding needs to be done. There's some fencing there for it as well. We'll have to resort to, once it gets darker, when all the bees have gone in and stuff, having to use the weed killer, because I'm literally losing this battle, because we've got all these plots at the back neglected there, and as you'll see around there we've got neglected plots here as well. We've got another wild cherry here, and we've got a passion flower just here and a hawthorn here, and we've got our little wild hedgerow which we planted here, which consists of wild cherries. We've got hazelnuts, we've got crab apples, we've got the wild dog roses. This is the tree cabbage. Now most of my wild cherries took, but this one didn't do too well, but never give up, because down here we've got some growth, so it's a good sign, thankfully. So this is the this is going to form part of the hedgerow to stop all of that blowing in as well. We've got sunflower just here, we've got sweet corn, we've got nasturtiums, and we've got some Yacon which is growing. Oops, nearly fell off. Some Yacon which is growing through, which is good because the slugs did get it at the start. But again, never give up, because as you can see, they literally top this Yacon here. As we get closer, you can see just a little bit of green on that shoot. The one funny thing is the catch crop and the nasturtiums, which will act as the treat for our pests, didn't even get touched. They touched everything else, which is quite funny. Not at the time though, but we've got sunflowers here, we've got a fuchsia here, climbing one, we've got Yacon down here, we've got foxglove, some more wild cherries, and we've got some potatoes at the back there. Beyond that, in that bed where it looks like there's loads of weeds, there was onions, but they just can't keep up with the weeds, nor can I, and they've gone down a little bit. We've got an alpine strawberry here, just likes more of the shade. Another climber, and here, well, let's just finish off with this bed actually. Some more Yacon that needs to be planted, and some sweet corn. This will be the chicken area eventually once it gets sorted out, once I get permissions and all that stuff. I'll start on my main plot. Let's do at the top. Got lots of wood for building projects, which I've got recently. This is the cuttings bed, so they are drooping a bit, but it looks like they are taken, which is good. We've got so many different types, mainly Buddleia, Forsythia, the clematis and stuff like that, anything I can get. Then we've got some lilac as well. These are quite new, these cuttings. Got some mint here, Solomon seal here, which I believe you can eat the rhizome of that. And we've got a hydrangea, which is going to grow over here and help shade out this shed a bit, because it's sticking out like a sore thumb. And we've got some more lilac again, and we've got, what's this one, just viburnum, which again was going to create a little wind shield because the wind goes that way there. And we've got a hop plant, we've got blueberries, just starting to produce blueberries here, look at that. We've got an apricot at the back, and this is another hedgerow. I only want this, but stuff that's edible as well, all along each side of the plot. We've got to tame that a bit as well. This is a service berry, and we've got a crab apple, and there's a dog rose as well, and we have a elderberry, which doesn't look like it's doing much, but somewhere down the bottom it's bound to still be alive, because that's happened to some of my other ones. Here we've got our tomatoes, which are flowering quite early than usual, quite small as well, and we've got maize and the runner bean seeds, which I just literally planted in, which have come up really good. It's funny because it's got this maize here, which I started off indoors and planted out, in my neighbour's maize, which I just planted from seed later than mine, and it's actually doing much better than mine, which is very interesting. All these thoughts spark off my curiosity into the polytunnel. And we've got bananas, we've got cannas, which we can use the leaves in cooking. That's an impressive beast, that leaf there. And we got 4 cinnamon vines. This is our first year cinnamon vine, started off indoors. We've got a second year one here, which is crawling up amongst this grape here. Hopefully we'll get some flowers. What is that? No, that's grape. Yeah, that's a grape flower there. And we've got our young ones just here as well. So hopefully we'll get some lovely smelling cinnamon plants. We've got an acacia here, which is a nice vigorous grower. It got attacked by the slugs, but it's looking good now, so that's a good sign. I'm not sure how much time I have left actually on this thing. I've got 13 minutes, okay, that's good. We've got tomatoes here. I did write the varieties down, but in the fashion which has been happening to me, the label's been wiped off. So we've got amaranth down here, and we've got some I can't remember what they are. Is it Inca berries, I believe they are called. Inca berries back there. I can't remember the other name for them. At the moment, a cucamelon, which is growing like a beast. It's even clinging on to itself, it's searching for something. It's good. And we've got some more tomatoes here. We've got some courgettes and pumpkins that need to be left out, potted out. Some more tobacco. Okay, so I'm loving how this grape is doing now. Hopefully it'll climb around the whole frame. Gives it a nice little feel to it. It's such a beautiful day today. Look at that. The sky. It's gorgeous. So in there, the grape is even coming out as well. Like a beast. Right, let's go out and show you this wild hedgerow. This is the cheapest way I could do it. This is done about a month ago. Yeah, here, all these plants along here, about 3-4 years time, will hopefully stop the onslaught of all of the neglected plots, weeds, seeds coming on. So I'm starting to lose the battle, so I'm going to do it this way. But so let's go on, let's focus on the positive. We've got our mountain ash here, rowanberry. Then we've got some currant cuttings, which I took a couple of years ago, and gooseberry cuttings here. So this is, I think it's red currant, or black currant. Here we have our elderberry, which the cuttings themselves weren't too good, but as you can see, it's growing from there. Hawthorn, got to check that out a bit. It could be a bit of might need watering because it gets a lot of wind here. This allotment, that's why I failed to grow a lot of things. Never fear. It just means you've got to give it a bit more watering these sides. So this is a currant cutting. I have grape cuttings as well, somewhere around here. But you can see the buds are coming back. It's beautiful. Hazelnut, hawthorn, elderberry, rowan. It's really the same sort of plants repeated all along here to create that wind barrier here. We've got more maize, that's a sweet corn, could be one of the two, and we've got runner beans, which, look at that, not even been touched, coming through the soil. It's crazy how they haven't been touched, and yet the ones I've planted out started off indoor or in the greenhouse, been literally demolished. Some tomatoes at the back, same thing again here, but this needs more weeding. Our fig tree's looking fine just there. If we continue on, we've got some lavender as well, that's going to be part of it. And we've got some more cuttings I took, and some more viburnum there, some more lilacs. This part, just notice all the aphids on my globe artichokes. They're coming up. Just seems to be on the loser. This side is battle. Some lovely flowers here, balloons, and that's the perennial area there. I'll go around the other side as well. Again, same stuff really. It's just to keep away all of that, because all of that comes over onto my plot. And it's not like I've neglected this plot. I come down here quite a lot and weed it. It's just that they're always one step ahead. Again, some more blackthorns or buckthorns, slow berries here. These were going to go in the hedgerow, but because of their nature of spreading on the ground, they're in buckets all along here. We've got things like climbing roses. I want to make that barrier all the way around the allotment. So just to provide some shelter and protection. Look at that. You focus. No, you're not going to focus. Come on, there you go. Look at that, gorgeous. Again, St. John's wort here, which is apparently reputed to help with the blues, which sometimes I get, so I thought I'd give it a try. See how that goes. Some Yacon, which the crown of this has not been divided and just left in the bucket, so you'll see how that goes. Left outside as well. Again, it's really the same stuff down here, but more weeds that need to be trimmed off. Some more maize, sweet corn, runner beans, and various cucumber members of the family, which seem to have been too well. I think this is the main thing, just trying to there's weeding your own plot, man. You've got to, there's like so many more weeds just come blowing in, so I've got to really get this hedgerow up, and I've got to keep on my own weeds as well. White currants looking beautiful. take one now, actually. White currant. Black currants down there. Oh, maybe all the weeds have covered them up from pigeons. I can't even get in there. Such a shame. Look at that. So many there as well. Got to take pictures of that. This is a goji berry, which it's been here for a couple of years, and it's only decided to shoot up like a beast. Got lemon balm, herb bed here, some sage, some thyme. I think that can. Oh, let's go in the greenhouse, see if there's anything else in here I warrant some mentioning. We've got the ochre that's growing up here. Finally getting on top of some of the bindweed. Nearly fallen off. More wood for building projects. Into the greenhouse. I think it's the polytunnels really that's growing them. Some stuff, but I think this year itself is going to be a building year. I'm not going to grow too much, but I've got tobacco here. It seems to be doing quite well in this little spot. And we've got some more sweet corn and stuff that needs to go out, and some lavender or guarana that needs to come out. I really need a bit of help from my family. But I think, yeah, it's definitely just... It's quite a depressing sight looking at all of that. And knowing as much as how much weeding you do in your little site, one blow of the wind is going to bring them all over here. So I think I'm just going to concentrate on, tempted to keep on top of it, grow some stuff, but try and implement methods where I can get past this. I might even just get some of that netting, blue netting, and just go all along here, even if it means putting up like 6-7 feet or whatnot, because it's so depressing looking at that. But it's a beautiful day. The birds are singing, and stuff is growing. So for me, guys, I shall see you in a bit. Take care, speak soon, and keep on growing.